Hi, welcome to Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News. This week we got a full house in here, Jack. We got some heavy hitters in here.
Yeah, you got some friends.
Not you, not physically. I mean, we got some big time
There's the stuff you're supposed to do.
Oh, all right.
Jeez. Man,
Uh,
friends like you, I sure don't need any.
all right, let's see. What's this Halloween bash there, Jack?
All right, that's the Halloween bash and barbecue benefit for Big Country. Now, Big Country is an official.
From
Bowman Gray.
Yeah.
Bowman Gray. He's got cancer, and
yeah, it has for a good little while.
Yeah, and he supposedly it wasn't doing so well, so they're doing a little benefit for him and everything. So everybody try to make an attempt to go out there and see him. And now the funny thing about Roy Martin is his dad.
So he's as country as they get.
Well, he is, but his dad wasn't. But his dad was a police officer in West Virginia, worked for my grandfather. We didn't even know each other existed until later on in life. I used to hang around with his dad. His dad would pick me up on Sundays and take me out in the police car and ride me around town and everything. So we didn't even know each other existed till lately. But you know, I really hate to hear he's having a bad time. So let's all try to make it down if you can. If you can't, you know, send him a little something to help him feel better. Send him a card, anything.
Yeah, but a great guy.
He is a great guy.
Super funny. Been in Bowman Gray for
years.
Yeah, forever. Been official down there. Too, we got I think the Dave Millard golf tournament's coming up on the 27th on Friday. Sponsor a hole, get a team together. It's the 4th annual to raise money for some care for Dave. I think SNN Communications, Fast Eddie's Barbecue. You know, I'm going to tell you, Jack, you know, he offered up a good dinner for us to go over and do a show from his house while you weren't here. But, you know, I didn't do it out of respect for you. So
I'm going to tell you like this. If he said that to me, I wasn't worried about you.
Oh, it about happened.
Close. And by the way, don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
We had some pudding here, man.
I mean, I've been slobbering a little bit.
You're going to keep slobbering till the end of the show, at
least. It's famous for him, I'm hearing.
Okay, well, we're gonna try it out.
I got to think Papa John's. Use your Dotson 25 when you order online and get 25% off on your Papa John's. Mayhem Company, RDS Performance. I think Mean Dean Automotive with Grier and Associates, and they are in
Moyock.
Moyock. I think Gator Graphics, Sammy Gator won this weekend. Yeah, finally. But I told everybody I was going to give Dave Tire Guy credit because he said he'd been working on it.
That's what he told us.
but then when he was telling me this weekend, he was looking at Sammy. He's like, "Well, me and Sammy worked on it." I was like, So he won't going to give you credit. So he looked at you, Sammy.
Sammy said they won't tell me what they're doing.
I mean, Parker.
Oh, Robert, yeah.
Southampton Motor Speedway. I think Mosquito Joe's get 50% off on your first months of Mosquito Joe's if you mention the show or the racetrack.
They might even give money to help Tim Wilson and Jeffrey Rector.
He might get 1 month free service. That's a good one, Jack. He had a sticker on him.
Huh?
Tim, he had the Mosquito Joe sticker. I mean, it was on him.
Yeah,
he laid it on him.
I'm gonna give him one put on the car.
I think Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Waltrip Pressure Washing Solutions, Turn 2 Synthetics, Safety Clean, and Performance Plus Motor Oils. Performance Plus this weekend sponsored the race. Langley Speedway, Chuck, Bill, Terry for allowing us to do the show here. Can't thank them enough. Bonders Brothers Distillery, MPM Marketing, Black Acid Racing Imperial, Slinger Speed Company, if you want a local t-shirt company, Factory Canopies, VA 811. And last but not least, GAC, Great American Company. Thank those guys for being with us and for a long time. And Carl says, let's go support our 17 grand stock. Well, we got all kinds of fans over
Yeah,
here.
they're coming on top, on strong here. All right, let's do the news real quick. And in the Cup Series, Joey Logano got the win in the Cup Series this weekend.
Man, that was a good race.
It was a good race at the end, very good race. Austin Hill got the Xfinity win. Down at Wake County, late model stock car, Clay Jones got the win. I think he's pretty much wrapped up the championship. At New River, All-American Speedway, late model stock car champ Paul Williamson got a win in race number 2. Rusty Daniels got the win in race number 1. The Smart Mods were at Caraway. Brandon Ward got the win. The UARA Bigley Memorial Tune-Up Race, Johnny Sauter got the win, led 109 of 118 laps.
Oh man, Johnny Sauter.
The truck used to be a truck driver.
Yeah.
The truck series. Lonesome Pine, limited late model, Shelby Smith, the female that drives for Chase Dixon, has won the limited late model championship. That's a pretty big deal. And Chase Dixon got 2 wins this past weekend, and he got the late model championship. So the Dixons have got both of them.
He's back. Huh?
Yeah, he's back. At Tri-County, late models, Parker Eatman got the win. In the limited late models, Taylor Reimer, she got her 3rd win, driving her Buzzballs Lee Falk Toyota. That didn't even catch him. That didn't even catch him, did it?
And when you're out there.
I know. I was expecting him to say something smart, but he didn't. At Orange County, Camden Gutley got the win. Carter Langley got a win in the 2nd race. Limited late models, Lane Woods got the win. At Dominion, Landon Pimbledon got the late model stock car win. And our guest tonight, Chase Johnson, got the win in the Virginia races. Late model stock car race at Ace Speedway, Colby Fogelman got win number 1. Blake Stallings got the win in the 2nd one. Down at Kingsport, Keith Helton won both the late model stock car races, which is, not a big deal because he's won just about all of them. And guess who won the Mod 4 race?
What's that guy?
Your guess is as good as mine, buddy.
Kevin Canner.
Kevin Canner. He has only been beat 1 time this year, and that was because he had a car issue. So that's a pretty big deal. And it was announced today that Kyle Larson is going to do the double again this year, but the head man from NASCAR was at the press conference, and it's a known fact now that he will get out of the car and make it back to Charlotte after the race.
I think
No matter what he's doing, he's going to be at Charlotte for that race.
Rick will see to it himself.
Yeah.
Or he's not going to get a waiver.
That's exactly right. So anyway, all right, let's do the
Sorry,
Adam Wellbrock Pit Road Roundup from Langley Speedway this past weekend.
What happened to Langley this weekend? Well,
that's what you're here for.
Bandos this weekend. Andrew Sheffield got his first career win. That was a good race, man.
It was. You didn't know who was really going to win. I mean, the first part of it, I forget who lost the lead the first time, and then
I think it was Penelope. She was on the pole. She led till about lap 10. Then Georgia got the lead, spun out.
Yeah, and she got on the apron and got loose.
And then I think Andrew took the lead. But Nevaeh was all over his bumper.
Yeah.
It was going to be a good race there at the end. And he held her off, but man. Nevaeh's got the points lead in Bandos now because Bryson was up at Iowa with Landon, who we had last week. So it's going to come down to the wire with Bandos. UCAR, Jesse Jones got another win.
Yeah, he put a clinic on.
He got to qualify. That's why.
Yeah, we got noted that he broke the track record twice this year. That's what he said.
And he's only been here twice this year.
Right.
He broke it earlier in the year and he broke it again.
Just broke his own record again. Grant Stocks, somebody named Tim Wilson got the win.
And we're going to hear from
races.
And we're going to hear from him in just a minute. Talk with him.
Well, there you go.
And then show he's going to be famous for.
No, he's got all these fans, so I guess we'll just have to sit here and watch the thing here.
Legends, Charlie Beals got another win. He might come within a few points again.
That was a good. I mean, he kind of roughed Jackson up there on lap 3 or 4.
Oh, on the restart.
Yeah. I was like,
Tell me wasn't too pleased with him.
it was a little rough. I mean,
Yeah.
it's racing. I mean,
Yeah.
you just got to know that you're gonna get it in return. I mean,
Yeah. They got one race left, so we'll see. Super Streets, our buddy Sammy Gaeta
finally,
got himself a win.
I'm gonna say it was all Dave. Dave did it all. Tire Man Dave.
Dave and Robbie.
I ain't giving Robbie no credit for nothing. Giving Robbie credit for nothing.
Okay, so Jack's gonna give Sammy the credit.
Exactly right.
That was a good race too. Mother Nature almost got in the way of it though.
Mhm.
And late models, Greg Edwards got another win. 100 lapper this weekend.
I tell you that was kind of a change of what I think anybody thought the late model race was going to turn out. Especially when I showed up in the middle of qualifying for the late models, and I seen that Riley had out qualified Connor and was on the pole, and I'm like, oh wow.
Well, they had that break.
I didn't know that at the moment.
They had that break in there, and the track evidently cooled down really good because Riley went to the front, and he just kept right on going. Next guy
Ryan
went.
Matthews, Edwards. There was one other one.
And I kept watching Connor Hall go right on down the line. And I understand they had to put him on suicide watch. He wasn't used to falling down that lift like that.
But I was curious to how long it was going to take him to get back to the front, and he just never.
Yeah, he started coming, and then he kind of stalled out. And then I think Riley passed him back. Somebody did. Ryan Matthews.
Ryan did. I think he passed him
that's
back
what we
fourth
were.
or something.
We were kind of saying we're like, oh, he might be in trouble here.
Yeah, after 30 laps and he didn't get
Was
the
it
second
driving?
or so, I didn't think he was going to get there. I didn't really talk to him. I walked by him and they're like, we're just loading the car. I said, you sleeping during the race or like
Who's driving your car?
Right? He's like,
I think his car does better when it's hotter out. I've noticed. I think beginning and
I think he was just tight. He just couldn't. Just didn't rotate through the center like it had. I mean, everything would. At the beginning of the year, everything was on a.
Well, he's done it so about getting the other car ready for this weekend. So that's Connor's
not going to be here this week.
It's not going to be.
Well, how many more races are going to be for the national championship, or is that?
I think it's done in 2
2
weeks.
more weeks.
Few more weeks?
Something like that.
21st and last weekend.
So,
Okay.
I mean,
But
he's
they're
got.
only allowed to run one race. They can't run two. So they count one race.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, that's
That's why Langley ran 100 because August 31st is shut off for running twins and have them count for national points. And that's why you're seeing just single races now.
Okay.
I mean, he's got tons of points in his pocket anyway.
So
Yeah, but I don't know if he got a big-
June.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he's got a big lead, does he?
Yeah.
Oh,
got
yeah.
it.
Oh, does
He's
he?
had wrapped up since.
Yeah, he's
Oh, really?
good.
Okay.
He's good for that. And he's already said he's not coming back to Langley this year. So
Oh, really?
yeah, he's already said that. So we won't see him here. All right, let's bring Tim Wilson in here.
The celebrity.
Yeah, he seems to be
Hot
the
shot.
Oh, he gets barbecue from Fast Eddie. So
Asked him to come on board, put a sticker on the car.
Fast Eddie. I got a sticker on my computer. I think we need the barbecue here too.
Well, I guess we're going to go by Tim's trailer and get some barbecue.
We're supposed to furnish the barbecue sandwiches for next time we run.
That's in October.
That's it. That's an
I was gonna say,
October
wait, we'll get the date, Jack.
Come on over to the trailer and
championship
We're
night.
gonna have some barbecue here before October. That's all there is to it. So anyway, all right, Tim, come on up here and have a seat,
okay.
and we'll let you be in there, and we'll talk to you. I'm gonna let you sit in there with Scott.
Okay.
He's in better company.
Yeah, whatever you want. Tim, tell us all about how things are going with you and the mosquito job.
We're still buddies. We talked and me and Bill are okay.
I mean, he made your car faster.
It is fast and it's turning as good as I've ever had one turn. And I wish we wouldn't have had to do all that work, but we got it back. My guys are, my crew chief Brandon, like I was telling Jack earlier, he's lasered and measured and God knows a million times to get that car back to where it was at. So for an old guy like me, it makes it great because it turns easy. So it makes me look good.
You got some good folks helping you on that car to getting it to where it is and what you've had going on.
Dude, we got our mastermind, Rick Hester. You know, he gives us information. I mean, he's kind of like Eddie Johnson there, got it all up in his head, been doing it ever since, you know, forever. So, and my crew chief, like I say, Brandon, he's a numbers guy, and he gets everything back to where it was at. And then I got Richie Markwood helps us. I mean, he does everything. He's our go-to guy. And then I got my son and my grandson helps us. And we just got a good crew, good team.
And it's some good racing in the Grand Stock division. And the only bad thing is there's not a whole lot of cars. We were discussing that earlier.
Yeah.
It'd be good to have some more cars.
Yeah, if we could get some more cars in there, it would be, you know, back in the day, boy, it used to be 30 of them things. I don't know where they all gone, but it'd be nice to get them back because just some good racing.
Yeah. No, I mean, you guys do. I mean, and y'all don't typically just wreck each other. I mean, y'all lean on each other pretty hard. Yeah. I mean, you can see a lot of car control from all the top 4 or 5 guys there.
You got a guy like Paul Lumino. I mean, he's won 130 something races out here. I mean, you got a guy like that, and I've been around for a while myself. And then you got some of the younger people coming along that do a really good job. So I mean, it's a good class. It's a good class to put some young kids in for them to learn and not tear your equipment up every week. That you got to go fix bodies and do all this, that, and other. You can work on getting your car and getting your person adjusted to racing.
Yeah. How long have you been in the Grand Stock?
Well, it depends. I raced dirt in a super street, and then I went to late model, and in this one here, I think I took over in 15 from Brandon. He was starting a family and decided to get out of it.
Bad for him, good for you.
Yeah. He says he don't miss it. He loves getting down there, working on it, and watching me get around the tracks. What he tells me.
Well, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, because he does an amazing job. He makes good adjustments. Keeps me up front all the time.
Does he own the car? Is that his car?
Him and his mother.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. My good friend Dallin Henson, he passed away a couple of years ago. He was he come to me when Brandon decided to quit, and he said, "Hey, you want to drive a car?" And I said, "Well, heck yeah." I knew it was a good car, you know, so yeah, I've been running it ever since. And like I say, every Monday, me and Brandon call and talk. He tells me what he thinks, and I tell him. Of course, I go on Flow and watch the replays 1,000 times. I look to see what mistakes I made, or a slip, or whatever might have happened. And me and him talk, and he says, "Well, I think you were a little tight here," or something, and we work on that during the week.
Wow. Well, that's good that you got somebody on top of everything that goes on as far as. And you said he was lasering everything and checking everything.
But when you come to the garage, you'll see 9,000 marks on the floor where he is 9 13/16. I mean, it's all over the floor. It looks like a chalk mark around the whole place. Looks like a kid been in there hopscotching with the. Yeah. He's measured everything.
Well, tell us how you got started in racing way back in the day. But remind everybody.
He's not as old as you, Jack.
I bet I'm close.
Now hold on there. Get hung up at this time.
That's part of getting old. I started actually in go-karts. I drove go-karts for Gene Nichols' brother, Donald Nichols.
Oh, okay.
And we went all through the Carolinas racing go-karts, and
you doing dirt
racing. And then one day Terry Hildebrand called me up and said, "Hey, I got a late model car. I need a driver. You want to drive?" And it was 1979, the Fall Classic at Salute, Virginia Raceway. And I said, "Hell yeah!" I was riding a go-kart. I get to drive a race car. We had some tires that Randy Hutchins gave us, some old McQuarries. Them things were harder than this floor.
Yeah.
And we put them on, and look, we were going down my first time running. Cars were passing me on the outside, the inside. I mean, there was 100-something cars there. They were going by me like, when I pulled in, I told Terry, I said, "This sucked." He said, "What?" He said, "You finished in the top 10. I said, man, did you see them guys passing me? But from that on, then we done pretty good. The next year we ran and won some races, got lucky and won a bunch of races. And then we won a championship in 96. And then I kind of took off for a while. And then my nephew started racing and we fixed a U car for him. And then he moved up to Legends and the car was sitting there. And Tracy told me, he said, well, get in the car and drive it. And that was the wrong thing. Now I've done spent a ton of money and went from that to Grand Stock. And as my girlfriend says, I'm tight on everything but two things: food and race car parts. So
Race car parts don't matter.
she would beg the difference.
My wife used to tell me, she said, you know, it's funny how everything on a race car costs $50. Because that's what I tell her. Oh, I spent $50 on that.
Yeah,
Roll the $50.
I don't mind.
I don't
Every part
I
of
don't
the
think
race
there's
car
anything $50 anymore, Jack.
Yeah, I don't tell Sue what I spend. Yeah, no, I don't even.
Is
give
she
an
working
email.
or is she watching? You might be careful.
She is. She works second shift shipyard, which makes it great for me because I can go work on the car every night, and I don't have to hear, you know, you're with the car more than you're with me. So it worked out great.
She might go back and watch this.
She might be watching it all, but she's really good. She likes the racing, so, and all my kids get into it. Of course, they want me to quit. They think I'm getting too old, but I don't know. I still feel like I can get around there a little bit. These young guys are coming along, though, and they're getting tough because, you know,
So you're still winning races. I mean,
lucky. It's lucky. I'm in good equipment.
Yeah. You know, it's got to be hard to imagine how many times races Paul Ludnow's won in that division or won here at Langley Speedway. And you're out there with him and then that division. He has his nights and then there's some nights he's right there. So
He's a tough customer. He's a hard-nosed racer, as I am, you know. And when your cars are that close, I mean, you know, he races hard. Paul ain't gonna give you an inch. So,
and y'all gonna get into each other. I mean,
sometimes, yeah, but Paul's a clean racer. Most everybody out here, Jimmy, Bill, sometimes Bill gets a little excited. Now,
that's weird.
anyway, we're still on and everything. So we got you and Adam in the pictures. That's
Scott's
all.
on it. He's doing his thing.
okay.
He's over there. We ain't worried about Scott too much.
Robbie Parker, he's saying what's up from the peninsula,
As long as he ain't over here, we're good.
Pennsylvania.
You know Robert Parker?
Don't worry about it. I got you.
Push the wrong button.
Yeah.
Again. 2 times in 10 minutes.
We can put it on the calendar.
That's almost as bad as Brian White messing up 2 times the other night.
Oh,
What do you do this week, Jack?
Brandy Marshall says she's on the way. Wait, I don't know if anybody's seen that video. Did you share? Brandy doing commentary during the limited.
Oh.
We need some people to do some commentary to act like Brandy because it's hilarious.
Oh, that was the one from the. They're right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She was saying, oh, God.
Oh, God, buddy. You know, like, we need
Have
some.
somebody like that as a spotter.
Oh God! Oh my God!
I'm thinking,
There's nobody around me.
Oh my! You can tell she was trying to refrain from cussing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how she did it because I would have done it.
I had to refrain on flow the other day last week when we got wrecked. I almost said a nasty word, but I didn't. I caught myself.
It's hard.
It's hard when you're mad.
Yeah, it is.
Talking with him.
I appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah. I know. I seen your eyes get big. I'm getting ready to say.
Justin said, "Go talk to Tim." I said, "Okay."
I get out of
Do
the
we have a
car.
delay?
I get out of
It
the
was a
car.
caution, they were-
Brian Millet's mom, or
Yeah, I think so.
yeah,
Or,
she's
yeah.
got a pan of hamburgers. I'm steaming. I get out of the
They
car.
thought the car was on fire
Yeah.
from the roof. They were
Yeah.
looking at your car.
She looks at me. She said, "Tim, you want a hamburger?" I said, "No, baby. I could cook one of them on my farm." Yeah.
They said, "The car's on fire." No, that's just their grill.
Yeah,
Grill's on the grass
Yeah,
behind the
I'll
car.
play
The
that.
camera's picking it up. It's smoke coming out
I'm
of it.
trying to get out the car, and she says, "You want a hamburger, Tim?"
But I just don't want to
She
work.
walks right by us with a plate full of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Well, that's nice of her.
Yeah, it was nice. Any other circumstance, I'd probably cook one.
It's probably something good to kind of break the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it like when somebody like Adam comes and sticks a microphone in your face after something like that?
It's usually in victory lane with Tim.
Well,
9 times
But-
out of 10.
when you've had something happen like that and you're mad, I'm sure Eddie could tell you the same thing. Sometimes you gotta refrain your words
Yeah.
because it's easy to say something that, especially when you're mad, you don't, you know,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it can.
You don't even need to talk about being mad. Just leave that alone. 'Cause you're the only person I know of got on the arena racing track and kick a guy's car.
Well, it started. I was trying to, because look, we're in the entertainment business, so essentially, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna make this look good. Well, I hot off and kicked it a little too hard, and I was like, oh, I ain't gonna do that again.
You got the damage.
Yeah, broke toe.
And he also didn't let the guy win the championship one year because he got mad at him
Well,
and he spun him out. So Scott says, well, he's not going to win the championship. And I'm sitting there going, oh God. And
not on my watch.
Scott goes backwards on the track. The cars are coming this way. Scott's going this way. He met the guy head on.
That wasn't intentional, though, was it?
I got lost.
Wasn't intentional.
He got dizzy when he spun.
Ricky Dennis said Ray Charles to see what was happening.
Yeah, yeah. Been there. Yeah.
me and Jack run into him at Richmond because it was the last race of the season. And I told him, I said, you ain't gonna win the champ. I don't care what happens. You ain't winning. And he was leading by a few points in the last race, and I creamed him, and he lost by 1 point. And Ricky come over, he says, Scott, you got away with one in the last race of the season. I said, what are you talking about? He said, what do you mean? What am I talking about? Damn, Ray Charles could see what the hell you was doing. He's like, normally we suspend somebody and fine them. I'm like, whatever you gotta do. So I ain't coming back.
You can't suspend somebody. He ain't coming back over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I came back for
Give
another
me all the
season.
fines. I don't care.
Yeah.
So how many wins have you gotten in your career?
I know I had 66 at Virginia Raceway. I could not tell you what I've gotten here, and I know I won 2 at Shenandoah and 1 at Dixieland. But other than that, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. My crew chiefs I had used to keep up with all that. I'm kind of one of them fly by the seat of your pants guys. But I don't like the trophies. I give them to the kids up here. I just seem
That's really cool. That's really
I
cool.
just seem to see a smile on their face and come to my house and sit and I got to dust.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Tim, was it a couple years ago when you won the championship? Your speech, your speech at the banquet. I loved it because you were kind of what's a good word to put it? I don't say you weren't really calling everybody out, but you were like, y'all thought I was done. You can see, you can hear a little anger, not angry, but you're making a point in your speech there.
Yeah, we had a few ins and outs with some other team, and
Was it okay?
I
I
just
knew it was
thought-
something I
I
didn't.
thought some things were intentional. So, but we came back and got one. So, yeah, it's
I mean, I loved it.
Yeah. Actually my spotter Mike Chenault, he writes my speeches for me.
Oh, really? Did
And
he
I
write that one?
some. I ad lib a little bit, and then I don't follow directions real well, and I get up there.
That's the seat of your pants.
Yeah, I'm the seat of the pants kind of guy, and so some things I say, and he reads and writes it, and I see him shaking his head. So
Didn't write that part.
yeah, he says I didn't write that part.
I really didn't even know Tim then, but I heard the speech was going on. I'm like, oh damn. Well, I think Bill's like, hey, call it as you see it.
Me and Bill are
But this was Bill Moss.
Oh, Bill Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known Bill a right good while. So
Too funny.
Well, Tim, we appreciate you coming and being with us tonight. You got any sponsors you want to thank? And then
yes, I do. I want to thank PPS Keith Paquette, H&H Truck Center, an old friend of mine, Johnny Holloway. He has helped me for a long time. And my son opened a new business. It's Game Day Wellness. It's opening in Norfolk. As soon as they're supposed to open in November, when they open, if you mention the track or Jack Dodson'S, they will give you 50% off your first visit.
So what is it? What are they doing?
It's men's wellness. They got a doctor, testosterone, check that, and I don't know. Another thing about the seat of your britches. I don't really know. My son, he had a poker place over in Portsmouth, and when the casino come in there, they closed it down. So he's ventured on to something else now. And
he didn't stay open. There's a few guys that just kind of kept things going.
yeah, but they took their license.
Yeah,
So,
I know a few of them. They took their license, but they still operate.
yeah.
I'm like,
They closed Stacks down, which he sponsored me for 2-3 years, I guess. And when they closed that down, then he went to the Game Day Wellness. All I know is something to do with your testosterone and whatever that contains. I have no clue.
Well, Jack, maybe you can get some of that feminine out of you. You can go over there and get.
Might help.
I'd like to know where you started getting on my case.
Yeah. So,
He's got to stay back and forth, Jack.
yeah, I guess they were both good. So I thought the banana pudding would.
Get him out of
Well,
something.
he's fastly working on not getting none of that.
Well, my girlfriend's mother, she makes pretty damn good stuff. So I told her last time, I said, look, I gotta get you make me some banana pudding for the guys. Last time I come up, I seen all the food. I said, shit, I ain't bring nothing. So
But we appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. We do.
y'all have at it.
All right, Tim, we appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot for
See you
being
again.
here.
Good being here.
Scott,
Thank you.
if you'll move off that
Yeah.
way.
No,
You
Have
guys,
a good day, everyone.
thank you.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it. Thanks a
Anytime.
lot.
Anything on the stars?
All right,
Sure.
Come on in and have a seat. Come on, Andy. You coming with us?
No, you.
I don't need to be over here.
I'm gonna hang
Oh,
on.
yeah. Hey, look, he said you were coming with him. I said, I got this one.
Did you try to get Eddie before?
I had sent him a message before.
Have you?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I sent you a message.
They don't realize.
I
They
don't
deleted
remember.
Facebook. Message on Facebook.
They technically challenged when it comes to electronics.
No, I just
Both
know
are.
if I was good on Facebook, I'd spend too much time, wouldn't have time to work on his race car. So I don't get on Facebook.
It's a distraction, Eddie.
Exactly.
It is.
That's all it's
That's
good
right. You ain't on it,
I'm not
right?
on it.
All right, we got Chase Johnson and we got Eddie Johnson, the legend Eddie Johnson. I have followed Eddie Johnson for years. I mean, when you were in Southside, everywhere you raced, you came to Southampton. Remember you coming to Southampton and racing down there?
And there's some.
Have you ever gone anywhere and not won, Eddie?
Didn't win to Southampton, but we only went there about twice.
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach had one there. I only went there about 3 or 4 times, but
You won Martinsville
one
once, twice.
Martinsville, one Lonesome Pine, one at South Boston, Langley, Old Dominion Speedway, Southside Speedway.
No, I remember being here in the early '90s, getting our ass beat by Eddie one time. Eddie was the man down here for a year or two there.
We once we got kind of done with Old Dominion Speedway and they didn't like the Ford down there, we came up here and they told us we couldn't win, and we spent 92 getting ourselves together, and then in 93 we had one of my favorite seasons in my career was coming down here and winning the championship.
Yeah. Didn't you win South? Did you win Southside in here the same year?
I did not win Southside the same year.
No.
No.
I remember one day in qualifying, I think you ran like it was a 16.5 something other. It was like I think it was a track record, and I think it was Charlie Hyde. Look at stopwatch. He's like, God damn.
It was 16.197. The track record was 16.199.
Mm.
That was a long time ago. And, I came in off the track, and we hadn't qualified that good too often. Usually we would be second or third or fourth, somewhere in that area. I knew when I came down through there, Charlie Howe was over the end. He was always looking at our forward. And he watched me from the time I got on the exit of the track on the pit road all the way over to the pit lane. I knew I'd done something.
So what's it like for you now with Chase racing? And I mean, he's done 2 races in a row here. I mean, he's.
Well, the good thing about it is I've had Christopher out there, and
Yeah.
so I've got some experience in
Right.
witnessing that. And with him, it's just like everything else. You get older, you take more things in, and it's just been an absolute dream to watch him do what he's doing. I know he's my son, and don't be biased because there are a lot of good drivers out there, but he's really come. I mean, this year has been an eye-opening for a lot of people, and what he's done just amazes me.
Yeah, he's done excellent.
I've seen a growth in the last year or
Yeah.
two. Definitely.
Definitely. And so, it's just a joy. It's
Do you get the same excitement watching him race?
oh yeah. I had somebody watching me on top of their trailer last Saturday night, especially the last 5 laps, and I noticed they were laughing at me, but I was driving on.
That's pretty cool. So, Chase, what in the world? I mean, you done caught fire here the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
So what's going on? How you getting a lot of knowledge from your dad here?
yes and no. Sometimes it don't help.
It don't help.
No.
So that stuff don't work no more, huh?
Well, he did help me a little bit here, especially with turn 1 and 2. I kept wanting to get on the gas too early, and I was like, Dad, if we can just get the car to work, it'll be faster if I can get on the gas early. Just get the same turn, be all right. I did what he said and went faster. So
Now you got to know. You have to listen to what he says. Look at what he's all accomplished. He gotta know a little bit of something about what he's talking about.
I mean, how many races have you won?
It's in the 190s.
I mean, I was gonna say it's got to be over 100. I mean,
It's in the 190s.
I've seen at least a good 20 or so a year.
Yeah. Good 20 so here. In 93, we won 15 out of 23 races.
Did you win Martinsville that year?
Yes, I did. On the fall race in Martinsville that they ran before the Cup cars.
Mm.
And we come down here and won that race. We had a point lead so we could miss Langley. And
Oh
the
yeah.
Langley guys down here, I mean, they're tough. And people always talked about they hard they weren't, couldn't go down there and win, couldn't go down and run with them. I mean, I've got some great friends down here. I mean, Edwards, Chip Hudson was running back then, Phil Warren. There's a lot of people I haven't named, but all of them have just been great friends. Mark Wirtz, everybody.
Yeah.
It's been friendly and made a lot of friends down there, as well as a lot of other racetracks. But, they welcomed me. They didn't like that Ford. They, hey, just didn't come through that gate because usually we'd be late on Friday nights and they'd be sitting there waiting Saturday because we come through there. We might miss the first practice, but, they all treated me just as well as you could ever be expected. They were great competitors.
You've been a Ford man all your life. I mean,
I've pretty much been a Ford man all my life. Yes, sir.
that's what I was kind of thinking. I can't remember you ever not being in a Ford, to tell you the truth.
Well,
You may have, but I just don't remember it.
my first big break was in '84 when John Hockey asked me to drive his race car, and that's when late model stock cars were first coming on. And I had been running my own car, I had my own shop, and Dad hadn't raced in years. We were just way behind. And he'd come to me. I went to him at Southside at the end of the year because Curtis Markham was driving his car.
Yeah.
Then. And I knew he was getting out and leaving. And so my brother, Ricky, got me got the nerve in me to go ask him to drive his race car. And I did at the end of the year in '83. And I didn't hear anything else from him. And then finally, it was probably around February of '84. He come driving up to the shop there at Ashland, the Capital City Speedway. And I didn't know who it was coming through there. We were always there on Saturdays working and doing things. And he come rolling in and asked me if he went and drive his race car. And I said, yeah. And it wasn't until later I found out that he was getting a brand new race car from Zabacus.
Yeah.
That was my big break. John Hockey taught me a whole lot about the way racing was now and how to set cars up. And also taught me you didn't have to cheat to win. You know, I mean, I was always feeling, you know, you got to cheat to win, but he taught me you didn't have to cheat to win. And we won 4 races that year in the Ford South Side.
Wow. Chase? Scott, get that behind you there. Week before last, when you won the race here at Langley Speedway, you also got our driver of the week. So we wanted to give you a
Thank
little
you.
plaque saying driver of the week for the week.
Got our name on it, so you can sell that on eBay and get double your money.
So double from 0 is still 0.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Well, you did a great job, man. You know, it was a good win for you.
Well, who won driver of the week this week? I mean, you hadn't said yet.
Joe Stuck got the driver of the week this week.
There's a lot of people giving him props.
Joe Stuck got the driver of the week. He was close. Chase was almost had him another one this week, but Joe Stuck got the driver of the week this week. So, what is your vision as far as racing, Chase? What do you want to accomplish? Do you want to stay in racing, or?
I mean, obviously everybody would like to make it big, but I mean, I also know that's not really realistic, especially with, you know, we don't come from money. To make it now, you have to have, I mean, obviously you got to have talent, but you also have to have a lot of financial support. And I mean, unless I get a big break, you know, I really don't see that happening. But I mean, I'd love to be like him, you know, just run late model stock cars all my life. I mean, to me, racing is fun. I mean, I don't want to quit, even if, you know, I don't make it. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind, you know, getting up to late model stock cars in a few years, maybe. That's probably got a while for that to come, though. Probably got quite a few more years and limited before that really happens. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm good just being a short track racer.
Now, your brothers, who's the better driver?
That's a question for him.
And I'm asking you. I don't want that. Well, I want your opinion.
Glad you didn't ask me.
I mean, I think I could probably run as fast as him, but he's got more experience than me. And at the end of the day, when you're racing together, the experience normally gets you.
Yeah, well. So you win at Langley. You win over there at Dominion. I mean, you're getting some valuable experience on basically 2 different types of tracks, really. So that's
They couldn't be more different, really.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool deal for you to be able to do that.
Yes, sir.
So who's your spotter?
Patrick Fisher.
Oh, okay. So it's not Dad.
No, he screams on radio.
That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work too good. No.
Now, me and Jack usually ask this question. If you're racing with your brother and there's a few laps to go, do you rough him up to win?
Oh yeah. Sorry, Chris.
I mean, one of you got to get the trophy. It might as well be you, right?
I told him I would rough him up too.
I told him you got to catch him first.
Yeah.
Now, does that come with pressure when you show up at the racetrack and people say, you know, Eddie Johnson's your dad? I mean, obviously, it's quite a career of racing. Does that come with pressure? And does it feel different with that?
Not really. I mean, if anything, I think it's better to have somebody like that, especially to teach you and learn things and just, you know, kind of mentor you.
Now, do you work on the race car too?
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna make him do it by himself.
So how many people do y'all have working on the car and getting
Well, I mean, usually I'm there working on the car. Chase, most of the time, is there working on the car. We've got Todd Rubber come by and helps on the car. Of course, my brother, he does all the motor work and everything for us. We do this car and LA engineer, and they do all of our motors. So Ricky's there taking care of the motor program. And then Chris Matthews, he owns the truck and the trailer that we haul the car with, and we keep the car in his shop. And he's more or less considered the crew chief. And he's there helping work with the car also. And then we have a couple of others, Mike Polston, one of his cousins comes by and helps with the car. And then we have another fella, Caleb Smith, comes by and helps. And a couple of others say they will come and help us too. Adam, with Chase's girlfriend Chloe, Adam, the dad, he's been interested in coming by and helping. So that's pretty much the bulk of it. It's when you get these pictures after the race, and there's all these people standing around taking the picture. And when you get back to the shop,
they thinned out, didn't they?
They're not the same. They're not the same group as.
But I'll tell you, in all respect, I mean, like Chase says, everything we do, people don't realize it, but we do ourselves. The only way we've been able to afford to keep racing is to be able to do it ourselves. We make all of our A-frames. This car Chase is running was built in 2001 by Rick Townsend. In 2019, we put a snout on ourselves in our shop. We built all the A-frames, all the spindles, everything. And went out to Southside and won the championship with it. And then this past winter, we took it apart and did everything we could to try and update it and put it all back together with a new body. And so that's the only way to afford the race. But most of these people get in the picture. We've got what we call the RGR Racing Sponsorship Club. And little donations, $100, some do more than that, but we put their names on the trunk. We try to do emails during the week to let them know where we're coming, and at the end of the year, we try to put on a big party. And that's most of where we get our sponsorship from. We have sponsorship from Dixie Paving and Sealing, Mike Farmer. We have sponsorship from by a farmer machine, Will Farmer up in Ashland. And it's all these, and none of them are major, but all of them go together and help make things work. We also have Medic Enterprises that, Chase Burroughs out here that runs. And Next Level Landscaping is owned by one of his cousins that's on the car. And it's just this conglomerate of people that puts the money together for us to go racing. I mean, there's no big names on the rear quarters. I don't know whether everybody's ever noticed that, but there's no big names on the rear quarters. So it's all in a sport that we love and something that we love doing and something we love doing as a family. We drove down here with his mom tonight, basically coming down here to be as a family. I could have stayed home and done the podcast, but we felt like all of us come down here and enjoy it, being a family.
Well, we appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
It's really huge. And I tell you, I mean, with your history and your background and what you've got going, what you've had going in your career, I was like a kid when I found out you were coming. I thought, that's a pretty cool deal. But now, back through the years that you were racing, who were some of the guys that you raced against that was really, really tough on you as far as gave you a hard time when you were racing, as far as being big competition, I guess you would say?
I mean, there's been a bunch of them over the years. Started out at Southside, Wayne Patterson, Curtis Markham, and Charlie Ford, and then at times it was Roy Hendrick. We come down here, like I say, it was Chip Hudson, it was Phil Warren, it was Roger Sawyer. Before that at Southside, we had Elton Sawyer come down here. I beat him for the championship at Southside in '85. It can just go on and on with people hard to beat. The Edwards, I mean, they're always tough. Every year here at Langley Speedway. If Danny didn't dominate, it looked like Greg was dominating. And it was, tough competition. And I know I've missed some great ones out there, but I'd say some of them are the top ones.
Yeah, that's you raced against the cream of the crop.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun back then. I mean, it seemed like, there was a lot. I mean, if you finished in the top 10, you did, you were running well.
Yeah.
Because we had just had so much competition. We had a good 20 cars, 25 cars maybe every week.
Every week.
It's just different than what it is today.
Is unbelievable. I mean, I used to go around and watch our races at different places, Old Dominion, and back in the day there, that was really big.
I think who good character was old Bugs Harefield.
Oh yeah, he was talking to him and I have had some talking.
Oh yeah, no, I remember.
You know, Chris Dodson, he's been a tough one down there at Southside.
Oh, yeah.
Too. We've had some tussles, even off the even out of the race cars. So.
And I am no kin to Chris Dodson. I want that put out there real quick. I am not kin to him.
I was wondering.
Usually she's trying to say he's kin to everybody.
That one I'm not. I like him okay as a person, but I'm not kin to him.
Chris is a really nice fellow. But when he's at the racetrack and he's in his race car mode, he's what do you call it, bipolar? Totally different.
He's definitely different. He's definitely different.
Like old Mike Buffkin back in the day, he was tough on the racetrack, but out the car, he was all religious.
Yes, you are. You got that right.
But the Chase, how did you get started, and how did your racing start? Did you so one day and say, "Hey, I think I want to do this," or how did it go?
Well, I mean, ever since I was, I don't know, a little bitty thing, there's like 3-4 years old. I mean, I always really wanted to race, but when I got 8 years old, we finally got a go-kart for me and got in that, and won my very first ever race out there in Junior Stars. Ran go-karts for about 8 years. Won a track championship at Capitol.
Won some BDK races.
Won some state races.
One big turkey trot.
Turkey
Capital.
Turkey trot and the gobbler. And then we got up in the limited 2 years ago now. Started coming here. Yeah. The first race here, we went from qualified like 14th.
16th to 4th.
Came up from 16th to 4th in my first limited race.
Do you think your dad's paying attention to what you're doing? I mean, have you seen this yet?
Probably more than me.
That first race, he came up through there, and I mean, he kept passing people, and one of the guys down the pitch looked at me and was like, I don't know. Kept going, and then finally, he got up there and he passed fifth place, and like 5 laps to go, and I think Patrick was spotting for him back. So, okay, man, just settle in right there, man. You got the top 5, you're going to finish in top 5. And he runs down Kyle Nestor and passed him on the last lap. And I was like, where in the world did all this come from? But, that first go-kart race that he ran, we practiced one time at Capital City Speedway. I know a lot of people think that we owned the track and we're down there all the time, but it wasn't that. We practiced down there one time. And he went out there the very first race, and him and that other boy that was there, and that other boy had been running for a couple of years. And they were side by side passing and everything else. So usually when the young kids go out there, they're skeptical about even passing.
Yeah.
No, they were side by side passing. He ended up winning the first race he ever run. And I mean, I've heard of people saying they did that. That's the first time I ever saw it, because I didn't do it. I didn't go karts and run away.
I don't know what I hit, but I hit something.
Now he pushed the wrong button.
All right, y'all hold on just a minute. We got one more person going to join us on here. We're going to talk with Travis Owens.
What's up, Travis? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good, man.
All right, now I got to get this straight before we get started. Are you the good-looking Owens or the smart one?
I'm the good-looking one. Trent's the smart one.
I thought you was done working on the road. I thought we seen you at Richmond.
No, I wasn't at Richmond.
No.
I've been to 6 or 7 races this year. I go when we run the 33 car.
Okay.
With Austin Hill, and I think we ran Ty and Will Brown, and I went to a couple races with Darren Shaw with the 62 car at the start of the year, the Speedway races.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I probably haven't been to Richmond, and I think the last time I was up at Richmond, I seen y'all. I think it was at XFINITY race. I was up there with our 2 XFINITY car. It might have been a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying your life now in the shop?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I probably traveled 25 years full time, and I enjoy working in the shop. And I do enjoy going to 6 or 7 races a year. It's still fun to do all that stuff. And but the grind of going every week, that I don't miss that.
Now, a lot of people, everybody knows who Trent is. I mean, he's a crew
Yeah.
chief.
The smart one we
Yeah.
established.
You're the good looking one. He's the smart one, so he's the crew chief.
Yeah.
So I mean, everybody knows that. But give us a little background. Now, both of you guys are nephews of Richard Petty, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought that. I keep getting that off in my mind exactly how that worked.
And then Barry was your stepfather, right? Barry
Yeah, Barry was my stepdad. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we had a lot of fun with Barry when we first started this show. We had Barry every week, and it was a lot of fun having him on here. He had an opinion. He had an opinion.
oh, he had an opinion, and he could tell a story.
Oh yeah, he's good at that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I miss him a lot. Me and him would talk probably once or twice a week just about stuff, and but he taught me and Trent a lot about the racing stuff too, and but yeah, that's kind of how me and Trent got started as teenagers and stuff, working for our uncle in the summer, and we just kind of progressed to where we're at now throughout the years.
Yeah, and now you over there at Childress, and he's at college. So y'all get to see each other a lot that way. I mean, college still associated with Childress too, right?
Oh yeah. They're a part of our alliance, and they're just right around the corner of the street there. And me and Trent will go to lunch every now and then. It's probably the first time, and when he come to work up here a couple years ago, it's probably the first time me and him have worked that close together since we was teenagers. I'd kind of always worked up in Level Cross, or worked in Welcome. I worked down in Concord at Ganassi's and for 4 or 5 years, and I worked at DEI for a year or two in Mooresville. But Trent had always worked down at he lives in Mooresville, so he always worked down there, and I live in Trinity, North Carolina, and so I've always kind of worked at places up this way. So it was kind of neat that me and him's kind of at the end of our, I don't know, the end of our deal, but later on in our career, we've met back up again in the same complex.
So, what are you doing in the shop with the 33 or whatever you're doing there?
Well, our main one of our main jobs, I just work in the suspension room, helping the guys. We get our turn on the cup side, turn the uprights around, get everything turned around, all the suspension. It's not as quite like we used to do on the old car. We don't get the pack hubs or nothing like that. But as far as prepping the parts and going through them, make sure everything's right, and doing all that, and then like when we run the 33, I'll go car chief that car at the racetrack, help set it up and everything, and if there's some special projects to be done in the shop, like setting up some other race cars or some customer cars or something like that, I help out with that. And I kind of do, I don't say I just do a little odd end things here and there. Had to go in the machine shop and work a little bit, help out on some things, and but just kind of bounce around a little bit. But it's kind of fun that way. You get a little do something different every now and then. It ain't monotonous.
Are you a fan of the new Cup car? It's just different than what we're accustomed to. We went down to JTG last year or earlier this year, I guess I should say, and you're what you used to have, all these people and teams and stuff, and it's like that's all there is now.
Yeah. I guess the right way. It's growing on me, I guess. I think the more they improve it, the better it gets for us. It was really different for us guys that have been around this sport forever. And if you needed something, you could go build it, buy it, or you didn't have to wait on anything. And I think the way everything was structured at the beginning, you was waiting on this, you was waiting on this part, or we were used to just saying, hey, let's just drill a hole here, but you can't do that with this car. You gotta have an answer for it, or you gotta call NASCAR and this and that. And I think it's changed some of us around a little bit to different way of thinking. But once you do it, I think we're in our third year, going on our 4th year with the car. We've kind of grown accustomed to it. So but yeah, it's all right. I mean, I think it could be better, which everybody thinks it could be better, I think, but they've made improvements to it.
is it hard for the guys like you who've been around for a long time when you get to that point where I guess we got to call NASCAR to check and see if that's right? When used to just jump in there and do what you had to do, but that had to be hard on some of the older guys in the sport.
Yeah, I think it's harder on more of the fabricating guys or the fabricators, the body hangers and stuff like that. And even on us too. I mean, people that assemble cars, you maybe want to run a line a certain way or do something a certain way, or it's just everybody changed their way of life, I guess. It just changed your way of life.
Hold on a second, I think we've got another Scott problem.
There we go.
All right.
There?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
I got us. I got you.
Oh. So I mean, that like I said, it's got to be hard on you, and it's got to be tough. But maybe does it make it easier in the long run than for the guys like? I mean, it's got to be less people, and it's got to be easier for getting things done as far as the car's almost done when you get there.
Yeah, it's the car itself is not once you learn how to work on it and put it together, it's not that bad of a deal. It's just you just say a late model stock car. Everybody's got their own little set of spindles or everything like that, but they're called uprights on our cars now, but they're basically spindles and stuff. But it's all the same spindles, all the same uprights. The lower control arms, upper control arms are all the same. Everybody runs the same stuff, and there's some adjustments you can make on your geometry in the front and anodive and stuff like that changes stuff around. And it's just so I'll say for an old guy like me, you don't have as much ownership in your product as what you used to have.
Yeah.
But you still take pride in what you do and what you put together. And the certain things you can do as a team, you try to do it as best as you can. And it's just so racing right now in that sport is so sim driven that you can just go to the racetrack now and not even practice. Just have 15 minutes of practice and you're good, and you're within a half a round out of the front or half a round in the back, and in the way the shocks and everything are now, where you can adjust them, externally and all that, you can dial a race car in pretty decent now.
I mean, we went to Richmond and a couple tracks last year. When you go to the racetrack, I remember, and when Lee was involved in the sport, you come to the racetrack and it was an all-day thing, thrashing on the car, taking this change, making that. We went around the garage last time, and there's nothing going on hardly. I mean, they're all just sitting around looking at each other.
Yeah, it's with me, and I forget who it was. Me and another guy was talking the other day, and I said, some of these younger guys will never know how we had it 20 years ago, and we didn't know how the guys before us 20 years ago had it. And we thought we had it bad, and they told us that we had it good. And but I'll be thankful that I got to race the way we raced, like me and Lee and all us guys got to race back in the late 90s and early 2000s and all the way up to 5 or 6 years ago. I appreciate all that, because it taught you so much about just work and doing your job and a lot of stuff, and you learned a lot of stuff. And but the way this car is structured and the way the rules and stuff are written, that's just the way you got to run this car. And the tools that we have as a company is what we have now to make these cars go fast. It's just the simplest way to do it.
And it's really funny. Lee got out of the sport, and because he said he was gone all the time, he had a family, he was gone all the time, and all this. Then he goes off flying airplanes, and he's gone more than the guys now are with the NASCAR cars. I mean, he's gone all the time.
He probably realized it wasn't as good as he thought it was.
Yeah, that move didn't work out good.
I kind of thought that too when he told me he was going to be a pilot. He sent me I think he sent me a video last week, week before last. I think he'd been from Charlotte to Evansville, Indiana, and he was maybe coming back to Raleigh, then going back to Charlotte. He was flying all the time. But I'm proud of him for what he done. I mean, it took a lot of guts to change your career at that stage in his life and to do what he done, and he's obviously doing a great job with it.
Well, evidently he loves what he's doing. So I mean, that's
it pays better.
well,
Oh yeah. I love him to death. Me and him, I known him for a while, and then when he come to work with me and Nick and all us over at RCR, I think it was 2018 on that XFINITY car. He was my roommate. So me and him was always big. We'd been big buddies, but we was always good buddies. And
Did he always turn the AC down?
yeah. But I had to sleep in my room cold too now.
Oh, okay. So y'all did good there because I'd heard some stories. It's like he came back to the room. I forget. Well, I think we was in Dover, where he was at Hendricks, and he came back and he had the dude he was bunking with had 3 blankets on.
Yeah.
look,
He had it so cold.
I spent the night with him down at a motel. He had it so cold in there was ice on the mirror.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's how cold he wanted it. But,
I don't think me and him ever had a disagreement on what the temperature in the room would be, because I'm kind of like that too. I got to have it cold. I'll go get me some covers if I need them.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was some good times back then when all that was going on. And
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well, Travis, we appreciate you giving us a few minutes tonight and talking with us. I've been trying to get you on the show for a while.
I know. Just a lot of stuff happened for me last couple of years and before that. And I when you text me the other day, I said I'm gonna get on this show and talk to you. And if you ever want me back, I'll come back on again.
Well, we're gonna get you back. And next time we're gonna get Trent on here with you. So
We can have the smart and
we can have both of them.
Yeah, but I ain't
The
gonna.
good one and the smart one.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna tell no stories on him because he's got stories on me.
Then I'll have to get with between y'all. Like,
Yeah.
we Charlotte, I'll get with Trent then, and we'll talk about that.
We'll get some stories.
Yeah, we'll get some stories on you to start with.
All right, that sounds good. I'm big. I got big shoulders.
Okay. All right, Travis, we appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you again real soon. Okay.
All right, thank you, Jack. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See y'all.
Later.
All right.
Too funny. Did you ever really have a want to be in NASCAR? We go up and be in the Cup Series or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I did it one time. I was hoping to carry it on a little bit further, and it just timetable didn't work out quite right for me. A long time calling at Coleman Rice. By the time we decided to try and step up into the Busch Series, we waited a few years too late. We came in right about the time that they were changing from the V6 to the V8s. When the V8s came in, the Cup guys came in. And then the race I won in Martinsville in '93, back in that time, they were looking to get people with experience. It wasn't about the money.
Right.
It was about the experience. And I had won that race in front of the Cup people, and Judy Donlaver was there, and Mike Galante from Ford was there, and one of the other Ford reps was there, and they were talking to Judy Donlaver, and Judy told us, yeah, said, another year, give him another experience, another year or two, and, we need to get him in the car. Well, then I think the next year, the year after, when Ken Schrader came in with Red Baron, and then the money started taking over, and then that's where we just kind of got washed away. But it's all good. I've had a wonderful career. I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite win or a favorite track?
Favorite win, favorite track. Probably Martinsville in 1993. That was when you had to run the last 10 laps or whatever on the green flag. We had taken lap 153, 154, and Mike Skinner was behind. And we came down 2-1. I went in nice and hard. We got into 2, and he got into me. And we come off a corner. We were sideways. And I had left foot in it, and I finally got it back under control. He ended up spinning, and they crashed behind me, and I came around and won. That's probably the biggest thing. Langley was special here in '93. South Boston, we won the $10,000 race at the end of the year in 2009 with the same car that Chase is driving now. That was a big win. But Langley in '93, we had a 400-lap race, a 300-lap race, a 250-lap race, and 2 200-lap races. The first 200-lap race, I ended up turning upside down, flipping down the front straightaway here.
Ooh, I don't
The
remember that.
next 200 I won, the 250 I won, 300 I won, and the 400 I won. And let me tell you, you run 400 laps with Langley, you better be in shape. We didn't have all that head stuff on that back then.
Did you wear the little dog strap thing?
I had a little dog strap, but I was under a tough physical condition where I would condition my neck. My dad had taught me years ago, if you lose control of your neck, you lose control of your race car.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew those races were coming up, and of course we raced 2 times a week, so that helped get you in shape too. But
Yeah.
you know, we held on and persevered. And, you know, those, I mean, hard to pick one that was any greater than the other, but you know, they were some of the greatest ones. And then Chase winning that 150 last week, that was quite an honor. And
That
not
was a
me
big
winning
deal.
it, but it was him winning it, and it was just as big an honor as it was the ones I won.
All right, Chase, what's your biggest win?
It's between the Langley one and the Dominion one, but I think I'd have to pick the Dominion one just because it was.
Yeah, I would too. I kind of double.
Yeah, because you stole it there at the end.
Yeah.
You think they were going to ask you? Hey man, but those have got to be gratifying, right? I mean, even if you just led the whole thing, but being able to caution and take it away at the end is pretty cool too.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of purposely, packed myself away from them because I knew that last restart. I knew exactly what was going to happen between them two. And
Well, but they're a little aggressive.
yeah, both of them. But I mean, that's racing. I mean, I it didn't quite happen like I thought it would. I thought they were going to wash up the track and I go under them, not be go above them.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, you went on the outside and went by them, and that's even a little tougher.
Yeah, it just ended up working out like that. I mean, I saw them go like that, and I sent it in 3. I sent it about as hard as it would go. I don't know how it really stuck, especially up in the marbles like that. But I wanted to make sure I gave him a little bit of room because I thought Winslow was going to spin out the way he was on the apron going into 3 like that. But
Well, was it 1 or 2 or 3 or 4? I mean, you were kind of
It
3
was-
wide there a little bit at one time.
yeah, well, I got up on the outside of Winslow and we got door to door. And the next lap, he got loose up in the, like, kind of like door slamming and got himself loose. And Aiden got under there and I was barely clear. He kind of let out for me. I didn't really know we were 3 wide at the time. And once I got clear of Winslow, I cut it down and
Didn't look back.
we just I knew Aiden was fast, so I knew I had to hit my line and I had to hit 3 perfect laps. And we the last 3 laps we hit like a 07, 06, and a 07.
Was that your fastest lap?
Our fastest laps was like 1.5. It was like a 007, so it wasn't far off.
Yeah, because I mean, I expected Aiden to probably get to you. I didn't know what would happen then, but I mean, he never had a chance. I mean, you kept the gap there, so I was impressed. I should say.
Yeah, it honestly impressed myself a little bit. I thought he was going to get back to me and kind of move me out the way, but it somehow, some way, it ended up working out.
What was going through your mind those last 2 laps?
Don't mess up. I knew if I messed up, he'd be right there. So I knew I had to, like I said, I had to hit 3 perfect laps.
So was the spotter telling you don't mess up?
Yeah.
Now does he talk 100 miles an hour too? Because he's a character too, your spotter.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you kind of got to when you're spotting, just because things happen so quick, especially with how fast you go at the menu. And you're probably going about 110 down the straightaway there.
So how much information do you want when you're racing like that?
I mean, I really just how far the gap is, and if I can change my line up, maybe get a little quicker, try something different. I mean, I really don't like too much information. I like to kind of just be able to focus. And
So you don't like somebody talking to you a lot, or you don't like somebody to be somewhat quiet?
It depends on the moment, really.
Mm.
I mean, there's moments where I just need to focus and run as hard as I can, and moments where I need as much information as I can get.
Yeah, see me, I always like somebody to talk like because I'm a little ADD, so I'd be out there, keep me focused. I need to take some focus factor or something before the race.
Well, Eddie, back in the day, I was sitting here while you were talking, I was thinking about some of the guys you raced against. The first name popped into my head was Tommy Hill.
Absolutely.
I mean, that guy had to be tough to race against.
You know, in '79 when I started running street stock, and in '80 I got my first late model when I was a rookie of the year at Southside Speedway. It was Tommy Ellis, and there was Sonny Hutchins, and there was Bill Dennis.
Mm.
And you know, everybody deemed Tommy as the bad guy, but I never had a problem with Tommy. Tommy was always good to me. You know, the only one that I ever had any trouble with, and I didn't really have any trouble with him, was one time. Oh, what was his name? His son was a big time crew chief at one time. His name was Gene. He won several national championships, but we were racing. We didn't have spotters back then, and 200 lap race at Southside was a national championship race. And he came up to lap me, and I didn't see him, and I came up, and I got all swerving and sideways. He came down and gave me a few words after the race. But really, all in all, they were all really good with me coming up being a young kid and a rookie, and you know, they were years. So
Yeah.
I did get to race with them a little bit, but like I said, at that point in time, we weren't really up with equipment. We weren't up with setups. You know, we were just getting our feet wet and learning.
But it had to be really cool that when you go to some of those big races that you would go to in the late models, Butch Lindley would show up, and then Tommy Ellis and Sonny Hutchins and all those guys would show up for these big races.
I mean, you had 20 guys that were tough.
Yeah, Tommy Hughes and all. We ran the Richmond track when it was the old Richmond Speedway, and I guess it was probably 80 or 81. And there's some pictures of me racing out there with them. I had old Nova, and they were running the Grand Ams or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we raced against all of them. I remember Phil Parsons backed to a car in the wall in practice. He was young back then. And I remember sitting over there and watching them. They put the thing on jack stands and got 2 propane tanks on both sides of the frame and sat there and heated up the frame until the frame somewhat straightened back up so you get back out there and run. But Bob Presley, all them guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That was some heavy hitters that came out of Carolina, come up here. Harry Gant.
Harry, I mean, they were national championship races.
Yeah.
And, you know, all them guys came.
Yeah, that's
Butch Lindley and
those were fun races to go to and watch when you see Butch Lindley and all those, you know. Butch Lindley was running Martinsville, and we all came back and ate at the, I guess at the Golden Corral or something there in Danville, and we're all sitting there, and he was telling all his stories and everything. That was really cool. I mean, those guys were something else back in those days.
Oh yeah, they were tough.
And Emmanuel Zavakis, I tell you, that was one guy I loved hearing his stories.
What chassis did you run back in the day then? Did you run the Savakis chassis?
A
lot of people did.
Yeah, when '84, when John Hockey came, he was having a new car built by Zavakis.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first, you know, chassis I ran back then. And then we got with the Townsend, Rick Townsend. And,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
got hooked up with him, and you know, he was instrumental in keeping my career going and keeping me up on knowledge and equipment.
I mean, what a nice guy, right? I mean,
And,
it would help anybody.
yes, he would. He was a special person, one of a kind.
And never didn't have secrets. Like, I mean, if he knew what would make you faster, he'd give it to you.
Yeah, that was one thing that I had in my pocket back then. I had Rick Townsend behind me, and he knew what was going on with the racetracks. And you know, he was actually one of the ones that did the pit crew for me when we ran those 4-lane races. We had like 8 tires we changed that night. And you know, he was instrumental in keeping us up and keeping us going. We really missed him a whole lot. And you know, in the later years, the Sellers down there in Danville, AC and his brother Peyton and his dad, they've always helped us. And that's been a big help with Chase. They've really given Chase a lot of help also.
Yeah, they've been helping a lot of people here, I think, in the last year or two.
Yeah, he's into a lot of stuff. Well, Eddie, this was an honor to have you here with us tonight. Chase, congratulations on your 2 wins. I know you got many more coming.
I hope so.
Probably, I don't know if you're gonna catch Dad.
That'd be a pretty tough task.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna catch him, but I think you got some wins. And you know, get 4, 5, 6 more, maybe 8 more. I mean,
And then you can just start racing against your brother, and I want to see you beat him.
Me too.
We really appreciate you having us on the show. And
Well,
taking time.
We appreciate you guys coming down here.
I mean, that was there had to be a little bit of a trip to come down here to be with us tonight, and I really appreciate y'all doing that and taking time out to be here with us. And like I said, it was an honor to have Eddie here with us. Not that it wasn't an honor to have you with us, Chase, but you know, I've watched him race for a long time, so I was like a kid when I said he was coming on. I said, all right.
Patrick says his two drivers. It's funny, a couple years ago, for some reason I thought he used to help Bugs. I said, didn't you used to help Bugs back then? Heck no. Yeah, I'm out of here.
He's right there. Patrick is really a good guy, and if you see a guy walk around that crew with a man
That's
and
Patrick.
flip flops and the painted toenails, that's Patrick. And he's a super good guy,
Yeah, oh yeah.
and he's been a big help to us.
Didn't he have cancer a couple years ago or something?
Yes, he did. He's
Yeah.
still got something that he's fighting within his, within up there. He had a tumor, brain tumor, and he's having some troubles with it now. So, keep him in your prayers.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's quite a character. I mean, you'll never go. I mean, I can remember when I was coming here in the 90s and I used to help Barry Strathman, and you can't not miss him, right?
Right.
I mean, he stands out from everybody else.
All right, well, we appreciate everybody being with us tonight. Travis Owens, it was nice to get caught up with him, and of course Tim Wilson for being here.
And his mother-in-law, girlfriend's
Yeah,
mother.
banana pudding.
Yeah.
He's over here drooling too. He's like,
Are you looking at it too?
I've been looking at it.
Oh,
He's
Right,
like,
right,
"That looks-"
right in front of you.
I know she's been looking
Yeah,
down.
I know, yeah.
You know how these young kids are. They get anything all the time.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But anyway, we appreciate everybody being with us. Share and like our show, and we'll see you again next Tuesday night, and we'll talk to you then.
Hey, thanks, guys.